Welcome to this explainer. I am so excited to get into this one because honestly, we're diving into something today that completely shifted how I view my own career. Think about it. For decades, the way we built our professional value was kind of like a messy guessing game, right? We'd cobble the pieces together as best we could and just sort of hope it looked like a clear picture of competence. But right now, we are watching that entire system get dismantled and replaced with something way more precise. We are literally standing at the edge of a new era, and the fundamental mechanics of how you prove your worth in the modern workforce, they're changing permanently.
Okay, let's dive into this. What do you know? For generations, this was the ultimate legacy question that defined us. I mean, think about it. When you went into an interview, or pitched a client, or tried to snag that big promotion, the whole interaction was essentially a dance around this one central theme. We took on decades of student debt, pulled those all-nighters fueled by entirely too many questionable energy drinks, and racked up endless alphabet soup certifications, all just to build up a stockpile of knowledge so we had a decent answer to that exact question. Basically, your entire professional identity was built around hoarding specialized knowledge.
And because of that intense focus on hoarding knowledge, we lived in this era we can now look back on and accurately call professional guesswork. And it was actually pretty comfortable, wasn't it? Under this old way of doing things, expertise was mostly measured by proxies. If you had a fancy job title, a flashy logo from a big university on your resume, and you could speak with, well, enough unearned confidence in a boardroom, people just guessed you were highly competent. Let's be totally honest here. Looking the part was often half the job. It was a system built entirely on assumptions.
But suddenly, the mechanics of how we work are just breaking wide open. AI has fundamentally changed the game. And I'm not just talking about doing our daily tasks a little bit faster or automating a few spreadsheets. No, the actual underlying structure of how our value is calculated is changing. Artificial intelligence has entered the chat and it is rewriting the rules of the professional world at breakneck speed. That comfortable era of relying on your past titles to coast through your current job, it's vanishing. And it's happening so much faster than anyone predicted. When you really dig into why this shift is happening so fast, it actually boils down to a very simple economic truth. Knowledge is no longer scarce. Look, in the past, you held the keys to the castle if you memorized legal precedents, SEO theory, or complex coding syntax. But today, anyone with an internet connection and a clever prompt can pull up that exact same information in mere seconds. The massive premium we used to place on simply knowing things has completely plummeted to zero. I mean, when an AI can synthesize 100 textbooks in the blink of an eye, your human ability to recall facts, it's no longer a superpower, it's just a commodity.
And this brings us to a massive pivot. Because knowledge is cheap and infinitely accessible now, the defining question of our careers completely changes. We're moving far away from what do you know to the new gold standard, can you prove your results? This right here is the new barrier to entry. This is the new benchmark for excellence. It matters so much less what your title was 5 years ago and far, far more of what you can verifiably produce today, tomorrow, and the next day. Let's break down what this actually looks like in practice. The old world ran on assumptions. The new world absolutely demands proven outcomes. Think about the past. A highly persuasive presentation could easily win you the account or land you the job. But today, since an AI can write a brilliant persuasive presentation for literally anyone, the focus shifts entirely to measurable impact. You can't just talk a big game about marketing strategy anymore. You need a dashboard showing the web traffic you actually grew. You have to be able to drop an anchor of hard, verifiable data to prove your success. Reputation alone is out. Transparent performance is in.
So the crucial point is this. The future belongs to professionals who build verifiable evidence, not just impressive resumes. I want you to think of the traditional resume as a relic of the past. It's really just a formalized list of unproven claims, right? The future requires a portfolio of proof. It requires a track record that can be independently audited. If you want to thrive in this new landscape, you absolutely have to transition your mindset. From curating a list of places you've sat at a desk, to curating a mountain of undeniable evidence of the actual value you've created. Now, with all this AI-generated noise out there, flawless emails, beautiful graphics, perfectly worded strategy documents, there is one distinctly human element that AI just cannot replicate: trust. In a world where anyone can generate a facade of competence on a screen, trust becomes the impenetrable vault that really sets you apart. And how do you lock in that trust when everyone suddenly sounds like a total expert? Well, you build it through that verifiable evidence we just talked about. Trust becomes your ultimate, undeniable competitive advantage.
And listen, this isn't just some abstract philosophy. It's going to dictate your daily professional life. The next generation of every major industry will be driven entirely by proof. Think about hiring. Recruiters won't just scan for keywords anymore, they'll demand portfolios of impact. In consulting, clients won't pay for fancy frameworks, they'll pay for data-backed results. Even high-stakes business decisions will rely exclusively on proven outcomes rather than a manager's gut feeling. Leadership itself will be judged by the transparent performance of their teams. This shift impacts absolutely every single one of us.
Okay, let's move to and see how this builds into our actual strategy. How do we adapt to this? If you want to stand out in any industry moving forward, this has to become your daily mandate. Consistently demonstrate real-world impact. It's not about a one-time win or a lucky quarter. It's a daily habit of building your proof block by block, documenting your wins, measuring your output, and showing exactly how your specific human intervention caused a positive result. This is exactly how you build that vault of trust.
Which brings us to the definitive reality of our current moment. The era where you could just hide behind a corporate logo or a polished vocabulary, that is completely crumbled. The old shield of professional guesswork is officially breaking apart, and the age of verifiable credibility, forged under pressure, has begun. And honestly, this is incredibly empowering. It means the old gatekeepers of the past hold so much less power. You don't need their permission to prove your worth anymore. Your results are your new resume.
I want to leave you with a question to really think about as we wrap up this explainer. As you look at the trajectory of your own industry, ask yourself, will proof of performance become more valuable than years of experience in the AI era? All the signals point to a resounding yes. The challenge for all of us right now is to honestly audit our own careers. Are we relying on the comfortable guesswork of the past, or are we actively building the credibility of the future? It's time to start gathering your proof.